and today I'm super excited to present to you the first part of my Queen Crochet Along. Woo! I am positively bursting with fruit flavor over here, you guys. I've been waiting for this for ages now. So today is part one, and just to get into some practical stuff at first, the pattern is available over on Ravelry. I'll leave the link here below, and the CAL is hosted in my Facebook group, Tina's Crochet Club. So I'll leave the link for that as well below, so you can get all the practical information and obviously the pattern over on Ravelry. Now, to what we're going to do here today, I promised that this crochet along would be suitable for what I like to call mosaic virgins. So if you're a beginner to mosaic crochet, this is your chance to give it a go, really, and with lots of support over in the group and very detailed and thorough tutorials. Like, they are insanely long, so but I promise to show you every step. So what I'm going to show you in this tutorial is the simple version of my queen, which is this one here. This is the small size. And the pattern actually comes in three versions. This is the simple one, then there's the traditional, and then there's the adventurous queen for those of you that are a bit more advanced and adventurous. So, but today, and in these tutorials, the video tutorials, I will show you each and every step of the way to do the simple queen, which is a perfect beginner's project for mosaic crochet. And to be more specific, this is what we're going to do today for part one. And I show you each and every stitch, and it's super easy and sweet, you guys, and I really hope that you will have fun with this. Just before we get going, I wanted to show you my big queen, which is the adventurous type, and this is huge, so I don't even know if I'm gonna whoopah. So as you can see, lots of possibilities with this pattern, lots of fun to be had. The adventurous queen is all explained in the pattern, which is half price during the CAL over on Ravelry for $5, and you will get automatic updates for each part. I'll be releasing the parts each Friday now for today, and then 5 more parts, total of 5 parts, and the last part will be the border. So I think that's just it. Let's get to it. We've been waiting long enough, so let's start hooking. And you know, I can't wait to see all your queens happen, so please remember to tag me on Instagram or on social media, Tina Hack on Instagram, or post in the group so I can see your progress, because that's really the most fun part of it all, isn't it? Okay, let's get to it. Mwah! Okay, so time to get started. For this tutorial, I am going to use Stylecraft's Classic Cotton DK in 2 colors and a 3.5mm hook. But again, this is just what I'm going to be using for my little table runner that I'm going to do with you here, just to do 2 repeats of the pattern. But you can obviously use any yarn you like for your queen blankets, and you're most likely going to be doing more than 2 repeats. And so I'm just gonna go over each size. The pattern comes in 2 sizes. The small queen, and then you chain up 171 stitches and just follow exactly the chart, and you have a total of 233 rows plus the 2 foundation rows. Then you have the large horizontal queen, and then you chain up 251 stitches, and that's the total stitch count for each row. And then you're working 14 repeats. Yeah, I didn't say the small one does 9 repeats. The large one does 14 repeats. And then some extra repeats on the length as well, because this is a chart repeat pattern, so you can really decide on your own size if you want to. And the large one, the horizontal one, has a total of 351 rows. And then we have the large vertical queen, and then you chain up 347 stitches. And that's the total stitch count per row for the whole blanket. And in the vertical one, like when we work a blanket normally, we're working it horizontally, so we're working it from the bottom and up. Yeah, but for the vertical queen, then you're chaining up the
the length of your blankets. Normally, like if you would imagine that this sheet here is the blanket, then you're chaining up here the width of your blanket for the horizontal one, yeah? And then you work each row like this. But for the vertical one, then you're chaining up your length and you sort of work it sideways, like you would be working it like this. And then you're chaining up the length and you're working your blanket always like this. And so that kind of just makes that the middle part here, this is the vertical one, the middle part here, all up the blanket is the big diamonds. But if you do it vertically, then the middle part will lie horizontally like this, if you do the other way around, yeah? Anyway, so for the large vertical one, then you chain up your 347 stitches, that's 20 repeats. And you have a grand total of 255 rows. Okay, but this is all in the pattern, you guys, of course. And the first 5 rows, I think, yep, first 5 rows come written up like this, but then the rest is all just a chart pattern. And I am going to be reading the chart with you guys, yeah? But, yep, sorry, before we start the chart, we have the foundation rows and chaining up, obviously. So let's get to that. And let's get closer to like this. Okay. So I'm going to be using this turquoise here for my main color. So you will chain up with your main color. And we are going to chain up, the repeat of the pattern is 16 stitches. So you can really, and it has extra repeats on the length as well. So you can really do it really any size you want, except for it doesn't really work to do it much smaller than the small one on the length. But you can always make it smaller on the width, like I'm doing here with the table runner. Okay, so we start up chaining a multiplication of 16 stitches. I'm going to do 2 times 16, 2, 3, whoopala. $15 and 16 and another 16. Okay, I've got 2 times 16 here, 32, and then you're going to add 27 extra stitches to that. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, but obviously you will follow the stitch count for which size you were doing if you're following one of the predetermined sizes of the pattern. But if you want a different size, like I'm doing here with the table runner, then it's just a multiplication of 16 stitches and then add 27 extra stitches to that. And you chain up with your main color, obviously, color A, which is the background color of the pattern, yeah? So that was the chain up. It's a multiplication of 16 plus 27. Okay, so one little trick that I wanted to show you, that when you're chaining up, obviously I have only, what, 59 stitches here, but if you're chaining up like 200 and something or 300 and something stitches, then it can be a pain in the you-know-what to be keeping count of it. And so I always put stitch markers into my foundation chain to know where the pattern repeats are. So if you look at this here, when we chain up, we're starting from here, really chaining up from this side, because the first row is the one that we are working back into the chains, yeah? So here you can see the division of the pattern. We have 14 stitches here extra at the end of each row, then it's the 16 stitch repeat, and here we have 13 stitches. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark these 14 stitches on my chain up, and always the 16 stitch repeat, and these 13, so I have it like divided on my chain. Okay, so we just count from where we started. Oh, and another good point actually is when you're chaining up is to leave an extra tail here, just in case you need some extra to add some if you're doing a long chain up, yeah? Okay, so I'm going to count 14 here from this end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. 3, 4, 14. And I'm going to put a stitch marker into the 14th stitch here. And it's always good when you're doing a repeat pattern like this to put your stitch marker in to mark your repeats, because then you know and you see it right away if you did like a miscount, you know. And now it's the 2 times 16, the repeat. This one was here, and then it's 16, another stitch marker there. Like so, and another 16 for the second repeat. Oops. Here's the 16th. And then we should have 13 stitches left here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Very good. Okay, so then we have marked up all our repeats. And then we start with row 1. And to keep these 13 stitches here, then we now, when we do the foundation row 1, then we do have to add 1 extra chain stitch here before we start, because we can't work into the first stitch yet. So this is just 1 extra here so that we can go into the correct first one here. And now for this foundation row, we're just going to work 1 single crochet into each and every stitch of our chain. Nice and easy. Okay, we have now 13 here, and now I get to my stitch marker, so I know that I'm starting my first 16 stitch repeat. And it's always good to count when you're doing these first repeats, just to be extra sure that you have the right stitch count. 11, 13, 15, 15 and 16. So that's one repeat done here. You guys are absolutely gonna have loads more. I'm just doing 2 here with you to show you. And then I know now this is the first one here in the second repeat because I have the stitch marker. When you're doing a bigger piece, then this really comes in handy. I cannot recommend it enough, really. Stitch markers all the way. Ooh, and you get all kinds of nice novelty stitch markers. I love these, for example. They're so cute. But do take care not to get the knitting stitch markers that can't be opened. You need the ones that you can open. And I'm just showing you every stitch of the way because you keep asking me to show you everything and go slowly. So that's what I do. If you don't like it, you fast forward. Okay, that's another 16. And now I should have 14 here at the end. So this stitch marker marks the beginning of the last part of the pattern after the repeat. Twelve, 13, and 14. Perfect. Okay, I forgot my scissors. And so when we get to the end, we're always going to be cutting at the ends, right? Because it's mosaic crochet. And I just leave like a 5 centimeter, that's 2 inches tail, approximately. And then when you finish each row, then you're going to do 1 chain here in the end and just pull it straight up. Whoopa. Like that. And that's the first foundation row done then. Just single crochet into every stitch. Very easy, but do take care to put in your stitch markers and count everything extra carefully, because if we have something incorrect, we want to know it now and not on, row 5. On to foundation row 2. And now and from here on out, we are going to be always changing colors, yeah? So we started with color A, which is the main color. And now that's row 1, the foundation row, and now row 2, the second foundation row is with color B. And just leave a small tail here in the beginning. Again, like at the end, just 5 centimeters, 2 inches approximately. And when we start, this row is all just single crochet as well. And remember, now I'm going to show you the border stitch. Please do check out my Mosaic Crochet Beginner's Guide, lessons 1 to 3, to see all this technique, but I'm just going to show you slowly here as well. So for the border stitch at the beginning of the row, we're always going to be working into both loops, and we pull our yarn up, and we're going to work 1 chain here and tighten it, and then 1 single crochet into the same stitch here into both loops of the first stitch of the row, and then it's just 1 single crochet into the back loop of each and every stitch of this row. So the foundation rows are basically just to give us something to work on to, and they're not part of the chart. This is just what you have to do before you start working the chart. So just 1 single crochet into each and every stitch, back loop only, you guys. All the time when we're working mosaic crochet, the single crochets go into the back loop. Okay, so there was really nothing happening. It was just one single crochet into each stitch here, so I just fast forward there a bit. But now we're getting to the end of the row. So we do one single crochet into each and every back loop of each stitch until we have one stitch left. And do remember to take care, this extra stitch here, the extra chain that we do at the end of each row, it doesn't count as a stitch, it's just to fasten the yarn. So remember not to work into that. It's a good trick to just tighten it a lot, so you don't really want to even. And now, so this is the last stitch, and that's the border stitch at the end of the row. And the border stitches at the beginning of an end of row are always the same, you guys, all the way through the pattern. So at the end of the row, as at the beginning, we're going to work into both loops of the stitch and just one single crochet there. Cut your yarn, leave like 5 centimeters tail, and then chain one and pull it all the way up through. Whoopa. And tighten it a lot, so you don't even want to work into this one here. Yeah, that's just an extra, just to keep like your yarn fastened nicely here. So that was foundation row 2. Okay, so now it's time to start reading the chart. And as you can see here, I put in the foundation rows into the chart, but I just don't put the numbers. So really here is when the pattern actually starts, and that's where I start counting row 1. And just to explain quickly the chart, this symbol here means the border stitch at the beginning of the row, and this one here at the end of the row. And if there is an X in the box, then you work a DC, and if the box is empty, then you work a single crochet. And these are US terms, you guys. So basically you shouldn't look at the color, because the color is only here just to show you how the pattern should look. Here in the beginning of the rows, I show you which color you're working with. Yeah, so in row 1, we're working with color A, which is white here. And in row 2, color B, which is the pattern color, which I'm using the dark blue. Okay, so, and it always alternates, so you're always going from A, B, A, B, A, B, so you don't really have to think very much about it. But that's the beauty of mosaic crochet, that you're always just using one color per row, you guys. So you don't have to think about that, and don't think about the color here. Only focus on, is there an X in the box, or is the box empty? So if there's an X, then you work a double crochet there. That's UK term, now the US terms. And if it's empty, then it's single crochet. So I just start reading the chart here, and this is the border stitch, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 double crochets. Let's just start with that, shall we? And then as we advance, I will do this maybe not so slowly, but I want to just start slowly so everybody can feel confident to start their queens. Can't wait to see what you make. Okay, so there's the border stitch at the beginning of the row, always the same. Single crochet here in both loops of the first stitch of your piece. And then we had, how many was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 double crochets. Then you yarn over and you insert your hook into the stitch from the row below, and you're always going into the same color when you're just using 2 colors. Yeah, yarn over into the stitch that we're working into, like so, and we're going to pull our yarn up, and then we have 3 loops up on our hook, and it's just a normal DC. So you yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and we had 9 DCs in a row. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so that's those 9 here. And then we have 1 single crochet. You see, this here is empty. This this box. So what you have to do to take care that you have the right stitch count is really you have to take care that then on the back here that you're not working into the stitches that are behind the DCs, because then we would be increasing. It's a trick you can use. If you need more stitches, you can steal one of those, but here we have the correct stitch count, so we're not going to do that. So I'm just going to count here: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and then I know that I'm going into the next one here, into the 10th. And it does show on, you know, you can see it's the next stitch here, but if you're unsure, then you can use this trick to count the stitches behind your DCs. So, and the single crochets all go into the back loop as always. So here we do 1 single crochet into the back loop, and then here we have 1 2 3 DCs, and then we're up to the repeat. And we're going to see if I have my stitch marker here to see if it's 3 stitches before the stitch marker. Yeah. And now just follow, this is the stitch that we would normally work into, and just follow it down to the stitch below. Yarn over into the stitch that we're working into, and pull your yarn up. Then we have 3 on the hook, yarn over, go through 2 and 2, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, and so this was the stitch mark here for this, and after the stitch mark then we start our 16, the first repeat. So it's good to have the stitch markers just to see when you're, especially when you're starting the pattern, you're kind of fitting it all in. Yeah, you're like how do you say this, yeah, you're yeah, making it all fit, and to see that your line, everything is lining up correctly. Yeah, so these are the 3, and then we have 1 2 3 4 more double crochets, okay, and just to double check here now, we have 3 and 4, it's 7, so we should 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, everything is correct. And then there is 1 single crochet, and again 7 double crochets, 1 single crochet into the back loop, and then 7 in a row again. Seven, and then there's 1 single crochet and 3 double crochets, and the third should be, yeah, you see here, it's in the, this is what marks the last stitch of our repeat here. Okay, so that's 1 repeat done between the 2 stitch markers. It was the 4 1 7 3, and then you see it's always 7 in this row. When you're doing a longer row, then it's always 7 and then 1, because you have the 4 plus 3 here, you see. And now I'm going to do another repeat of this, and if you have a larger, if you're working a bigger project, then obviously you're going to do this, what, 9 or 14 or 20 times. And we go again, second repeat, and then we start again with 4 single crochets, so that we have a total of 7 between, no, double crochets, sorry. So we have a total of 7 between the single crochets. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and then 1 single crochet, and again 7. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, I did 8. I have to take this one back, yeah. And then there's 1 single crochet, and then we finish the repeats again with 3. And the third one should land where our stitch mark is marking the last stitch of the repeat. Like so, everything lining up perfectly. You just love it when everything fits. Okay, now I've done the 2 repeats. You do more if you have a wider project, obviously. Sorry. And now after the repeat, you see the repeat is always marked with the thicker lines. Then we have 4 double crochet, 1 single, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, on to row 2 of the chart, and now I'm going to show you here my little magic trick. You can of course use your post-its to mark where you are, but it's really nice to use one of these. I have no idea where you get this out in the world. I get this at a local yarn shop. It's like a highlight tape, so it's really nice to use these to mark where you are in the pattern. So I'm going to put in my highlight tape here, just to see how it is, approximately like this. Whoop-a. Okay, and what I will do is I will mark one above, so I don't have to move it too much. So I'm going to be marking it now above row 2, because we're going to work row 2 like so. And then I can leave it here for a few rows. I know where I'm going. Okay, so now we're going to be working row 2 here, you see. Okay, and as you can remember now, we're going on to color B again, which is the pattern color, which is the one that makes up the lines in the pattern. And you see here now, if we just read it quickly, there is a border stitch at the beginning of the row. Then we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blank boxes. So that's 8 single crochet stitches. Again, US terms, you guys. Then there's 1 X, so that's 1 double crochet. And then we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in total, but 3 here, and then we get to the repeat. So let's just start with that, yeah? Always leave about 5 centimeter tail. Border stitch is always the same, like I already showed you. And now we start with our 8 single crochets, and they're always into the back loop. Basically in this row, you're just working single crochets into your double crochets and a double crochet where you did a single crochet in the last row. So this one really leads you on. Now that's 8 single crochets, and then you see here now we have this space basically marked for a double crochet. So I think it's safe to say that it's impossible to do any mistakes in this row. So we did the 8, and then we're going to do 1 double crochet, and that goes round, down, run 1 row. And always when you're working your double crochets down, you're always working into the same color as you have up on your hook. Pull your yarn up like so from the hook, the stitch that we're working into, and you have 3 stitches on your hook and normal DC through 2 and 2 like so. And now we're here, and it's 1, 2, 3 single crochets until we get to the repeat. And you see here is our stitch marker. Here is our stitch marker marking the first stitch of our repeat, and that fits perfectly. So it's 4 more, and then it's 1 single crochet, 70. No, oops, I'm sorry, I went down. So it's 4 single crochets here, and then there's 1 double crochet down, 7 and 3, and it's always 7 in between. So this is the repeat for row 2. 4 more single crochets like so, total of 7 then, and then a double crochet down. And as you can see, this row is really just, it's marked beforehand, sort of what you're going to be doing. Now we have 7 single crochets just into all of the double crochets. And 1 double down. And 1, 2, and 3. That's 1 repeat. And here you see the stitch marker marks the first stitch of next repeat. So we're going to do another repeat of 4, 1, 7, 1, 3. Three and 4. 1 double down. 7 single. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. And then 1 double down. And finish with 3 single crochets, and that's the second repeat finished. Stitch marker marks the first stitch after the repeat. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets, 1 double, and then 8 single crochets, and the border stitch at the end of the row. It's 4, 1 double, and then 8. Seven and 8, and then it's the border stitch, always the same. 1 single crochet into both loops of the last single crochet of the row. Cut the yarn, chain 1, and whoopa. Okay, that was row, whoops, that had gone out here. That was row 2. It should look like this. On to row 3. And that's now the first row here that's marked with the tape, yeah. And again, we're going to be working with color A, the main color, and it's the border stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double crochets, 3 single, and 2 double. That's what we're going to start with. Okay, border stitch, 7 double crochets, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we're going to do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. And next up 2 double crochets, and then we're up to, then we're going to start the repeat. 1 and 2, and to check if we're at the right spot. Yeah. So this is the first stitch here of the repeat, and then the repeat is 1, 2, 3 double crochets, 3 singles, and now we do 5 here in between, and 3, and again 2. So 2 plus these 3 here is again 5. First repeat, we start with 3. And then we have a total of 5 here in a row. Then we do 3 single crochets. And then we do 5. And these 5 here are supposed to be centered on top of, we did 7 in row, what was it, 1? And so these 5 are supposed to be like, we're skipping the first one here and the last one, you see, so it's going up. And then we do 3 single crochets, 2 double, and then again the same repeat. See, stitch marker marks the first one of the repeat. Okay. That's 3 more. And now 3 single, 5 double. Bit of a knot here. Oh, for crying out loud. There we go. Where was I? 5, just did 5 double. And I'm gonna do 3 single. And again 2 double. And that's the end of the second repeat. Stitch marker marks the first stitch of the last part here after the repeat, and it's 3 double, 3 single, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double. Two, 3. I was leaving one of these here, no, stitching into it. 3 singles, and then 7 double. Five, 6, and 7. And then we do the border stitch at the end of the row, cut the yarn, and pull through. Hoppa. Okay, so that's row 3. All done. On to row 4. That's the one here in the middle of my tape. And that's again with color B, with the pattern color. And so it's the border stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 single crochets, 1 double, 1 single, 1 double, and then 2 single here. That's the first part before we get to the repeat. Okay, border stitch and 7 singles. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we're going to do 1 double crochet, one single in the middle here, and one double, like so. And then it's 2 single crochets, and then we're up to our repeat. First stitch of the repeat. And in the repeat, we're going to do 1, 2, 3 single, double, single, double, 5 singles here on top of the 5 DCs from last row, double, single, double, and then 2 here. And the 2 adding up to the 3 here are 5, so it's always 5 singles in between. So we had 2, and then we do 3 more here, and then we do the double, single, double, and then it's 5 single crochets into all the 5 double crochets from last row, and again double, single, double, and then it's the 2 here, and then we finished 1 repeat, and this one here is the first stitch of the second repeat, so we go exactly the same again and repeat the repeat. It's 5 single over 5 doubles, and it's double, single, double. And as you can see, it's all sort of marked for us. And then we finish the repeat with 2 single crochets. And then we're up to the last part, the part after the repeat. And then we have 3 singles, double, single, double, and 7 singles and the border stitch. 1, 2, 3, single, double, single, and then the 7 single crochets to finish off the row. Oops, this went out here. We're on row 4. 6 and 7, and then the border stitch at the end of the row. Cut the yarn and pull it through. Hoppa. There we go. That's row 4. All done. On to row 5, and as you can see, all the odd number rows are the main color, and the even number rows are the pattern color. So now we're here on number 5, and we continue reading the border stitch, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double crochets, 2 single, 1 double, 2 single, 1 double. That's the first part of the pattern before we get to our repeat. Oops. That's the border stitch. And we had, what was it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double crochets. Four, 5, and 6. And then we have 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, and then we're going to do 1 double crochet in between the 2 double crochets from last row. Sometimes when I'm going into a stitch that's between one of those, Then I like to kind of back into it, makes it easier to pull it up. 1 double crochet here in the middle, and then it was 2 singles and 1 double. And now we're up to our repeat. And the repeat is 2 doubles, 2 single, double, 2 single, 3 double here in between, and then again 2 single, 1 double, 2 single, and then 1 double here. That adds up to the 2 in the beginning, so it's always 3 in a row there in between. Okay, so we're gonna start the repeat, 2 doubles, and it's 2 single, 1 double here in between the 2 doubles from last row, 2 singles, and 3 double crochets here in between. 2 and 3, and again 2 singles, 1 double, 2 singles, and we finish the repeat with 1 double. Okay, so that's 1 repeat done. See this part here. And we do another repeat, and you do as many as you need. That's really the beauty of repeat patterns, is that you can really decide on your own size. You can make it larger or smaller as you please. It makes obviously the pattern more versatile, which I really love, that you can do many projects, different projects with the same pattern, yeah? Okay, did the 3 doubles there. I'm gonna do 2 singles, 1 double here in the middle, 2 singles, and then 1 double, and now I have finished my second repeat. So let's look at what happens after that. I was doing this double here, and there's 2 doubles more, and it's 2 singles, 1 double, 2 singles, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doubles. But as you can see by now, that this is really like a core shape pattern, so it really does lead you on, because we're going to be doing these diamonds all the way through almost, and so it really does lead you on. Did the 2 singles here, and now it's 6 double crochets to finish off the row. Or 5 and 6. And we're going to do the border stitch at the end of the row, cut the yarn and pull it through. Oopa. So that's row 5. On to row 6, which is an even number, so we're using the pattern color, and we always start with 1 with a border stitch, like so, and then we can check out the pattern. We're on to row 6 here, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single crochets, 1 double, 3 singles, 1 double, and 1 single before we get to the repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then it's 1 double, 3 singles, and then 1 single crochet here before we get to the repeat. And the repeat is 2 singles, 1 double, 3 singles here, 1 double, 3, 1 double, 3, 1 double. So it's always 3 singles and 1 double really in this row. So we had 1, and then we go 2 and 3, and then there's a double, 3 singles, and the double, and this just goes the whole way through this row really. So this one is an easy one, 3 singles and then a double, 3 singles, and then a double, and here I did 1, and then we've done 1 repeat, and I continue and do another one exactly the same. With 3 singles and a double. And now I do the last single here of the repeat, and now we have 2 singles, double, 3 singles, double, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 singles to finish off the row. Goes the last double, and then 6 single crochets to finish row 6. The border stitch with the cut and pull your yarn through. Oppada. So that's row 6. On to row 7. Now I've moved my highlight tape up here. That's the best part about it actually, that you can use it like many times, the same piece. So I've moved it up here. So we're gonna do row 7, which is odd number, so it's the main color. And we start with the border stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets, 2 singles, 1 double, 1 single, 1 double, 2 singles. We start with the border stitch. And now we have 5 double crochets here in the beginning. And then it was 2 singles, 1 double, 1 single, 1 double, and 2 singles, like so. And then we finished the first part, and we're going to go on to the repeat. The repeat starts with 1 double, 2 singles, double, single, double, 2 singles, double, 2 singles, double, single, double, 2 singles. So I'm showing you each step of the way here, but since it is a chart pattern, it's actually, maybe you could even qualify it as a bit insane for me to be showing you each stitch, because the charts really are so easy to read. But I know for some of you, you like to have something to follow on to and to see how each row is supposed to look. So we just do it like this, nice and easy. Double here, 2 singles, double, single, double, 2 singles, 1 double here in the middle, 2 singles, and now we're going to do a double, single, double, and then 2 singles. And that's our first repeat done. And I'm just going to do one more exactly the same. One, no, 2 singles here. That's another repeat done. Then we do 1 double. After the repeat, there's 1 double, 2 singles, double, single, double, 2 singles, and then we finish with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets. Singles here, and then 5 double crochet. Four and 5, and the border stitch at the end of the row. And pull your yarn through like so and tighten it. So that's row 7. On to row 8. Take a look at the chart. That's the row 8 is the first one here is in yellow. So it's the border stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets, 1 double, 2 singles, 1 double, 2 singles, 1 double. That's the beginning before we start the repeat. And in row 8, which is a what do you call it, not odd numbers but even number row, we're working with the pattern color B. Okay, so start up with 5 single crochets, 4 and 5, 1 double here, 2 singles, 1 and 2 singles, 1 double here in the middle between the 2 doubles from last row, 2 singles and 1 double, and then we do 1 single, and yeah, that was the first one of the repeat. No, sorry. Okay, so this is the part before the repeat. And we're gonna look at the repeat, and we're on 8, yeah. So we're gonna do a single, double, 2 singles, 1 double, 2 singles, double, single, double, 2 singles, double, 2 singles, and 1 double. But at this point, again, this pattern really leads you on. And I really love that when I was working my queen, that you can have fun with the fillings. Obviously, we're doing the simple version here, but if you choose the adventurous queen, then you can have fun with your fillings. But the basic diamond grid really just leads you on quite effortlessly. So you don't have to think too much, yeah? Single here, double down, 2 singles, 1 double here in between, and again 2 singles and 1 double. So that's the repeat. I'm gonna do my second repeat. Exactly like the first, of course. That's why it's called a repeat. Two singles here and 1 double. That's the end of the second repeat. So let's look at the chart again. And then we're going to do a single double, 2 singles, 1 double, 2 singles, 1 double, and finish with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets. One single there, and then double down, 2 singles here, and a double in the middle here, 2 singles, and then a double, and then just singles into each of the 5 double crochets from the end of last row. And finish it with the border stitch at the end of the row, as always. Cut the yarn and pull it through. Whoopa! So that's row 8. On to row 9, and we are using main color again, like for all the odd number rows. And we start with border stitch. And if we look here, border stitch 4 double crochets, 2 singles, 1 double, 3 singles, 1 double, 1 single, about 1, 2, 3 and 4, 2 single crochets, 1 double, 3 singles, 1 double, and 1 single. That's the beginning of the pattern. And then we look at the repeat, 2 singles, one double, 3 singles, one double, 3 1 3 1, and 1 plus the 2 here. It's always 3 1 3 1 in this one. So we had the 1, and then the repeat goes 1 and 2 more single crochets, 1 double, and then 3 singles, 1 double, 1 2 3 singles, whoop up, and double down, 3 singles, down, and 1 single here, and that's the pattern repeat for row 9. And we continue and we go again, 1 2, total of 3. It's always this whole row except for the very beginning and end. It's just 1 double crochet and 3 single crochets. Easy peasy. Okay, we don't even have to look at the end here really, because we just continue the same way and do 2 more singles here. So we have a 3 and then a double, three singles and a double. And then here in the end of row 9, we have 2 single crochets and 4 doubles, and then the border stitch. So it's 1 and 2, 4 double crochet, just like we started with 4 double crochet, because obviously we want the beginning of the row and the end of it to be mirrored. 4th, and then cut the yarn, work the border stitch here at the end of the row, just 1 single crochet there and pull your yarn through. Whoopa. That's row 9. Now it's getting to shape up a bit, yeah? On to row 10. That's pattern color B. Again, we start with the border stitch at the beginning of the row, and now here it's 1 2 3 4 single crochets, 1 double, 2 singles, double single double, and 2 singles here. But I hope that you have found by now that the pattern really, I mean, there are parts where you need to be reading the chart, of course, but the basic grid really leads you on. So that was 4 singles, 1 double, 1 2 singles, and now we're going to do a double single double in the middle, and then it's 1 and 2. And now we're up to the pattern repeat, and the pattern repeat for row 10 is double crochet, 2 singles, double single double, 2 singles, double, 2 singles, double single double, and 2 singles. So we start with 1 double here, being the peak of our zigzag here. And then there's 2 singles and double single double here in the middle. And then we do 2 singles and a double here in the middle. See? 2 singles, again double, single, double, and then 2 singles. That's one pattern repeat, and then we just do another one exactly the same. Okay, I've done 2 repeats here, and the end here it's 1 double, 2 singles, double, single, double, 2 singles, 1 double, and 4 single crochets to finish off round 10. Okay, and then the 4 single crochets at the end of the row, just like at the beginning of the row, and the border stitch at the end of the row. Cut the yarn, up like so. So that was row 10, and now we're starting to see our diamonds here forming. Yay! On to row 11, and again we're working with the main color, starting as always with the border stitch, and then we shall look at our chart. Row 11 is here. It's 3 double crochets, 2 singles, 1 double, 2 singles, 1 double, 2 singles, 1 double. That's the first part now there in the beginning before we get to the repeat. But as you can see by now, the pattern really should have started to sort of lead you on, because now, like in the beginning, you surely have caught on that we're always just making 1 fewer stitches here in the beginning, for example, and then these diamonds really lead you on. So now we did 3 double crochets, then it's 2 singles, one double, 2 singles, 1 double here in the middle, 2 singles, 1 double, 1 double, yeah, and now we're up to the repeat part. So let's look at the repeat. And the repeat in row 11 is 1 single, 1 double, 2 singles, double, 2 singles, double, single, double, 2 singles, 1 double, 2 singles, 1 double. And this all sounds like gibberish, obviously, when you read it out loud like that. But again, I really like at this stage, I don't even have to look at the pattern because it is leading me on like good patterns should. I once learned this, that like the traditional patterns, for example, for the Icelandic wool sweaters, they are like aesthetically beautiful, but they are also sort of maker friendly, you know. So it's a pattern that leads you on, so it helps you with both your work rhythm, and you don't have to think too much, which is good, but at the same time obviously you want to be making something beautiful, which I hope that you will agree that we achieve here in this pattern. Yeah. Okay, that was one repeat. And I do another repeat. This tutorial is gonna be long. But I did promise to show you every step of the way. So I just imagine that I'm sitting here with you crocheting. And I know for some people it will be reassuring to be able to see each stitch, even though it's just a chart pattern. Okay, that's the second repeat done. And let's look at the chart again then. So it's one single here, one double. The doubles are going on each side of the doubles from the row below. And then we have two singles, one double, two singles, one double, two singles, and again finish with 3 doubles. The double goes here in between the 2 doubles from the previous row. 2 singles, one double, 2 singles, and then the 3 double crochets at the end of the row. And we finish with the border stitch, as always. Cutting the yarn, and whoopah. So there you go. That was row 11. On to row 12. And again, we're working pattern color when it's even number rows. And we start with the border stitch, and now we do 1, 2, 3 single crochets, 1 double, 2 singles, 1 double, 3 single crochets, 1 double here, and then 1 single crochet. That's the beginning of the pattern before we start the repeat. And now actually I usually try to do this like every 10 rows. So I like to move up the stitch marker so that I always know where my repeat starts. This can come in handy. So I'm gonna move up all my stitch markers so that I always know when my repeat starts and ends. This can be very handy, especially when you have a larger piece, obviously. So it was here, and then again here. And here. So now I have them all rolled up, so I don't have to always be tracing my stitches down, yeah? Okay, so let's start with the first repeat then. And actually, like, again, I'm not even watching the pattern at this point because I just know what's going to happen, and I hope that you kind of are feeling the flow of it as well. So 2 single crochets, 1 double down, 3 single crochets, 1 double down, 3 3 singles. Yeah, so this one is always just 1 double, 3 single. It would appear. It's nice to always find the rhythm in each repeat, and obviously it's nicest when it's something easy like this. 1 double here, and then 1 single, 1 single here, and that's the first repeat done. And then we go again. Three singles and 1 double just over and over. That's the second repeat done. 3 singles, 1 double, 3 singles, 1 double, and then we finish with 2 singles, 1 double, and we actually finish with 3 singles as well. So 3 singles in the end, and then the border stitch, and we are done with row 12. Hoppa. There you go. Row 12, all done. On to row 13. Again with main color, color A, which is the background color. And we start now with 2 double crochets. Always 1 less here in the beginning and end of the piece. And then we do 2 single crochets, 1 double, hoppa, 2 singles, and now we're going to do 3 double crochets here in the middle. Let's see here, because now we're starting to fill in the diamonds. Now we're getting to the diamond grid. This is really just sort of like an extra framing up, yeah? So now we do 3 double crochets here in the middle of our first diamond. And then it's 1 and 2 single crochets, and now we're starting with our repeat. The repeat starts with 1 double crochet, 2 singles, 3 doubles in the middle of the diamond, and then don't want to split it, 2 singles and 1 double here in the middle. You see, it's all happening. And again we do 2 singles, 3 doubles in the center of the diamond, 2 singles, and then we do a second repeat exactly the same. Okay, that's the second repeat done. Now to the finish, 1 double crochet here in the first stitch after the repeat, 2 single crochets, 3 double crochets, 2 singles, 1 double, 2 singles, and 2 doubles in the end. And finish with the border stitch at the end of the row as always. Whoop. Cut the yarn and pull through. Voila. There we go. That's row 13. On to row 14. And again now we're working with the pattern color B, as in all the even number rows. And we start with the border stitch, and then we do 2 single crochets, 1 double, 2 singles, 1 double, and now we do 5 single crochets here over the center of the diamond. And 1 double, and now we are starting our repeat, and the repeat goes 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, 5 single crochets over the center of the diamond, 1 double crochet, and a single, and again a double. The doubles are going on each side of the double from the last row, you see. And then again 5 here over the center of the diamond. So we're doing 2 diamonds in each repeat, really. And then 1 double, and that's the end of the repeat. Yeah? And I'm gonna do my second repeat here. Okay, that's the repeat done, and I've actually done the first single crochet here after the last repeat, and then there's 1 double, 5 singles over the center of the diamond, like so, 1 double, 2 singles, 1 double, and then we finish it up with 2 single crochets and the border stitch at the end of the row. Whoopala. That's row 14. On to row 15, And if we quickly look at the chart here, then you can see this one here is 15, and we only do 1 double crochet at the beginning of the row, and then now we're doing 5 double crochets in a row here with the main color in the middle of the diamonds. And we're using color A, the main color, as always, and the odd number rows. And we start with the border stitch. And then there's 1 double crochet. And 2 single crochets. 1 double. 2 singles. And now we do 5 double crochets here in the center of our diamonds, the first diamond row of many in the queen. There you go, 5 in a row there, and then we do 1 and 2 single crochets, and now we're up to the first repeat, which starts with 1 single crochet, 5 double crochets, there we go, and then 3 singles. That's the repeat. And again 5 for the second diamond of the repeat. And 1. So we started the repeat with 2 single crochets and finish it with 1, so it's the 3 there that we're always doing in between. And I'm going to finish the second repeat. Okay, finishing the repeat here with 1 single crochet, and then the part after the repeats is 1 and 2 single crochets and the 5 DCs. Two single crochets, 1 double, 2 singles, and 1 double to finish it off here. There we go, and then always the border stitch at the end of the row. Cut the yarn and pull it. Opa. Okay, so that's row 15 then. On to row 16, which is the pattern color. The border stitch at the beginning of the row, and then we do 1 single crochet into the double crochet from last row, 1 double down, and then there are 2 single crochets, 1 double, and then we do 7 single crochets here over the middle part of the diamond. Like so. And now we start the repeat. And the repeat here is very simple. It's 1 double crochet here in the middle. You see where the zigzag is going up. And then 7 single crochets over the middle of our diamond. Over the center part of our diamond. Oops, split here. Do not want split yarns. That's 7, and again 1 double. Second part of the repeat. 7 singles. And then we start again another repeat with 1 double. I'm not going to do another repeat. Okay, that's the second repeat done. And now on to the last part of the chart after the repeat. Then we start with 1 double. Again, 7 singles here. Seven, and then 1 double, 2 singles, 1 double, and 1 single, mirroring the beginning of the row, and then finish it off with the border stitch. Whoopa! That's it for row 16 then. On to row 17, and if we just take a quick look at the chart. I should have moved my tape there, but yeah, you can see it here, 17. And so again, we only have 1 double crochet here in the beginning, everything normal here, and again we have 5 double crochets in the middle of the diamonds. So that's what we're gonna do now with color A. And we start with the border stitch, 1 double here, and now we're going to do 2 single crochets and 1 double. Now you see the diamond is starting to move back. We've been doing this line always out for the diamonds. Now we're going to start to move back in. So that was 1 double crochet there, and now we do 2 singles and 5 doubles here for the middle, for the center of the diamond. Four and 5, and 1 single crochet. Now we're up to the beginning of the repeat. And we're going to add 2 more single crochets here. So here in the middle, we have 3 in a row, and again 5 double crochets. And after these 5 in a row, and we do 3 singles. So this is a very easy repeat as well, this row. 5 doubles, 3 singles. Go, and 1 more single here, and then we're at the end of our repeat, because we started with the 2 doubles here, and then we have 1 single here, and then we go again for the second repeat. Exactly the same. Finishing the repeat here with 1 single crochet. That was the second repeat, and now we do the last part of row 17. 2 more single crochets, and again 5 double crochets into our last diamond of this sequence. And then we do 2 double crochets here at the end. 2 singles, sorry, and 1 double down, 2 singles, and sorry about that, my stabilizer is running out of battery. So just to show you here at the end of row 17, we did 2 single crochets here, 1 double down, and finish it off with the border stitch at the end of the row. So that was row 17, you guys. On we go to row 18, and now again we're working with the pattern color, and now you see we have gotten to, whoops, what's this here? So now the diamond has gone out and it's going back in again, and we're going to start new diamonds here. Yeah, so always leave a bit of a tail at the beginning of the row. Start with the border stitch, like so. Chain 1, 1 single crochet, and now we're going to work 2 single crochets, and then down with a double crochet, and again 2 single crochets, and down with a double, and then there come 5 single crochets all over our double crochets here from last row. Five, and now you see here we're going to be starting a new diamond here. You see, this is row 18. So now we're going to go down here with the 1 double crochet and 1 single and 1 double, and now we are starting our repeat. So this is the last stitch here before we start the repeat. 1 double crochet down, which is the start of a new diamond. It's going to come up there, yeah. And now we go to the repeat. So there's 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, 5 singles over the double crochets from last row, and now we're going to do a double crochet, single crochet, and double crochet here. Double down, always into the same color as we have up on our hook when we're doing the double crochets. 1 single crochet here in the middle and another double. Okay, and this will be the start of a new diamond. And now again 5 single crochets. And we finish this repeat with 1 double crochet down here. So that's 1 repeat of the pattern. It starts here with a single crochet, and then there's a double, 5 singles, double, single, double, 5 singles, and 1 double. This is the repeat for row 18. Okay, and now I'm just going to do my second repeat, and you will do all the repeats that you need and want and like. Isn't it comforting to do repeats? Sort of like, at least there's some order in life, you know? Some things are bajo control, under control. Repeats always stay the same. Sometimes nice to do things that you don't have to think too much, you know? Just keep your hands busy. Okay, enough chatting. This was the last stitch here of the second repeat. And now we finish it off with 1 single crochet. This is the last part of the pattern here now. Those last 14 stitches after the repeats. There's 1 single and 1 double. 5 single crochets. 1 double here down, and now this is exactly the same as at the beginning of the row. 2 singles, 1 double, and 2 singles. And then we have the border stitch at the end of the row. Cut the yarn and pull it through. Whoopa! Another row done. That was row 18, you guys. On to row 19. That's an odd number, so we're going back to our main color. This is this lovely turquoise here. I love turquoise. That's one of my favorite colors. So border stitch at the beginning of the row, as always. And now we're going to start with 2 double crochets. Like so. And then there are 2 single crochets. And you know, by now I'm not even looking at the chart, you guys. It's well, I've made a few of queens by now, but still it's such a lovely pattern because it really does lead you on, doesn't it? And not in a bad way of leading you on. Okay, 2 doubles, 2 singles, 1 double down. It's into the same color as on your hook when you're doing the double crochets. And now we're going to do 2 single crochets. And now we do 3 double crochets here. Our diamond is coming together. It's getting smaller again. 1, 2, 3. And then there's 2 single. Oops, went a bit rolled there, my stabilizer. I was just saying 2 single crochets here, yeah? And this is the first part of the pattern before we start the repeat. And now we start with the repeat. And actually, I'm going to move my stitch markers up here because it's so nice to have it always seeing clearly where your repeat starts. So I'll move it up every now and again. I hope you don't find it painfully boring to watch me do all this in real time, but like I said, you keep asking me to do things slow and in real time, and well, this is me doing it slow and in real time. Okay. There we go. Stitch markers in place again. It's nice to have them always here because it's kind of, well, it's obviously the best place to put them up. And so now I see here that I'm going to start my first repeat in row 19. And now we do 1 double crochet here down. This will be the start of our new row of diamonds. And then we do 2 singles, 3 doubles, 2 singles, 1 double, always a double here in between the 2 doubles from last row, yeah? And then 2 singles, 3 double crochets, and then finish the repeat with 2 single crochets. Okay, so that's the repeat for row 19 of the Queen. And now we continue. And basically, like when I'm working this, I think of it obviously because I will draw up the pattern first, yeah? But it sort of is like drawing when you're doing it, because you realize what we're doing. Like now I'm gonna do a double down here, and that's to hide this line here. So basically when I want to hide the line that is in behind, then I'll do a double crochet. These lines I want to show now, 1 and 2. And then these I want to hide, so I do 3 doubles here. So when you're doing the double crochets, you're hiding the line that's behind it. And when you're doing the single crochet, you're leaving that line. So it's pretty much like drawing, isn't it? Once you've gotten the hang of it. And finish the repeat here with 2 single crochets. And now we're going to go to the last part of the pattern, the one that comes after the repeat. All the repeats that you've done, and again we do 1 double crochet down in between those 2 singles, 3 doubles, 2 singles, 1 double, 2 singles, and 2 doubles to finish it off. And finish with the border stitch. And pull your yarn through once, like so, and fasten. Okay, so that's it for row 19. On to row 20. Now we go to the pattern color again. And as always, we start with the border stitch at the beginning of the row. And then we go 1, 2, 3 single crochets, 1 double crochet down, and then 2 single crochets, 1 double, 3 single crochets here over the double crochets from last row, and then 1 double and 2 more here No, just one more, and then we're up to our repeat, as we can see with the stitch marker, yeah? So that was the first part of the pattern before the repeats. And now we start with the repeat, and we're going to do 1 and 2 single crochets, 1 double crochet, 3 singles, 1 double, 3 singles, and this is actually the repeat for the whole of this pattern. It's 3 singles, 1 double, 3 singles, 1 double. So that was easy enough. You see, they kind of look like little T's, like for my name, Tina. 3 single and 1 double and 2 singles. No, just 1 single here in the end. So if you see here that we started the repeat with 2 singles and finish it with 1, that's just 2 plus 1 is obviously 3, so that's another 3, but it just to show you the repeats exactly, because you're going to be repeating this again and again. Okay, so that was the first repeat, and I'm going to do my second one. Always the same in this row, 3 single crochets and 1 double. 3, that's the magic number. I love the number 3. I get actually quite obsessive about using 3s in my patterns sometimes. Not, you know, this obviously just happened by itself, but I do very much like the number 3. Something magical about it, isn't it? Do you guys not have feelings about numbers? The second repeat is really giving me some time to go off script, isn't it? Okay, second repeat done. And then we go to the final part after the repeats. And we do 2 more single crochets here. Total of 3, 1 double, 3 singles, 1 double, and now we just do 2 singles here at the end, and 1 double, and 3 singles. So it's always a repeat of 3 singles, except for here at the beginning and end of the row, because then we're doing something different, aren't we? And we finish with the border stitch at the end of the row. Always fun to do that last stitch of the row, isn't it? Sense of accomplishment. That's something we need. Okay, that's row 20. All done. On we go. Row 21. Again, back to the main color. Turquoise and hot pink are my absolute favorites. If I could just choose 2 colors, those would be it. And they go actually beautifully together. Maybe I should have done it in those colors. Anyways, off we go. Row 21, that was the border stitch. And now we're going to start with 3 double crochets, you see, because we want to hide this line here. So off we go. Doubling down. 2 and 3. And then it's 2 single crochets, 1 double, 2 singles, double, 2 singles, and 1 double, and then we're getting to the repeat, yeah? So this is the part of the pattern before we start the repeats. And we continue with the double crochets now that we start the first repeat, and do 2 more double crochets. So now we're filling up here, you see this diamond is growing. Like it grew here from 1 to 3 to 5, now it's 1 to 3 here. And then we do 2 single crochets, 1 double, because as the other one is growing, this one is closing up. Yeah. 2 doubles, 3 singles, 2 doubles, and 1 single. So you see the repeat here is always 1 double, like 3 doubles, 2 singles, 1 double, 2 singles, 3, and then again 1, 2 singles, and finish with 1 double here. We started with 2 doubles and we finish with 1, so it's 3 total. And then we go again. This was the repeat for row 21. And now I'm going to do my second repeat. Just as before. And 1 double here. I've done 2 repeats, and we move on to the last part of the row after the repeats, and we do 2 double crochets, and 2 singles, 1 double, 2 singles, 1 double, 2 singles, and then we finish it with 3 double crochets to cover up this line here, yeah? And finish with the border stitch at the end of the row. And pull your yarn once through. Whoopa. There you go. That was row 21. On to row 22. Even number, so that's pattern color. We start with the border stitch as always, and then there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 single crochet stitches at the beginning of the row, 1 double, 2 singles, and now we're going to do a double, single, double around the double from last row. So 1 double, single top, and 1 double. So that's us closing up this diamond really. And then we do 5 single crochets. Well, 2 here until we get to the first stitch of the repeat, yeah? So that's the beginning of row 22 before we get to our repeat. And now we're going to start the repeat, and that's 3 more single crochets, total of 5 in a row there, 1 double, 1 single, whoop, and 1 double, and now 5 single crochets here, 5 in a row, and again double, single. What's happening here? Double, single, double, and we finish the repeat with 2 single crochets, which when we put them together with the first 3 here makes 5. So that's the first repeat of row 22. And I'm going to go ahead and do my second repeat, just the same as the first, obviously. And we finish the second repeat again with 2 single crochets. So that's 2 repeats done then. And then we go on to the part after the repeats, and that's 3 single crochets, 1 double, 1 single here and 1 double here, always on either side of the single of the lone here, double crochet from last row, 2 singles, 1 double, and 4 single crochet at the end of the row. And the border stitch, cut the yarn, pull through, and go tell my sons to turn down that video. Okay, that was row 22, you guys. On to row 23. And that's an odd number, so we're using the main color. And we start with the border stitch as always. And now we're going to do 4 double crochets. So basically, like last row, we did 4 single crochets. Now we're going to always start with the same number of double crochets in the last row, in the next row, because we want to cover up this line here. So that's 4 double crochets. Split there. Okay, that's 4 double crochets. Next up, 2 singles, 1 double, 3 singles, and 2 double crochets here before we start our repeat. So this is the first part of row 23 before we start the repeat. And on we go and start our repeat. We do 3 double crochets. That's a total of 5 there in a row, which means that we're up to the half point of this diamond. Yeah. And then we do 3 single crochets and 5 doubles. This is the repeat. It's going to go all the way through row 23. 5 double and 3 singles. And we finish the repeat, with 2 double crochets here. That's united with the 3 we started with at the beginning of the repeat, make up 5, yeah? So that's 1 repeat for row 23. I'm gonna go ahead and continue with my second repeat. And finish with 2 double crochets. that's the second repeat done. And now we go on to the last part of the pattern, the part that comes after all the repeats. And then we do 3 double crochets so that we have a total of 5 there in a row, like always before. And 3 singles, 1 double, 2 singles, and finish it off with 4 double crochets here then to cover up this dark blue line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Quarter stitch at the end of the row, cut the yarn and pull it through once. There we go, that was row 23, all done. On to row 24, again with the pattern color now. Border stitch at the beginning of the row. And now we start with 5 single crochets, 3, 4, and 5, 1 double, 2 singles, 1 double, and here with this we're going to do 5 singles, but we only do now 1 and 2 and 3, and then we're up to the repeat. So this is the first part of the pattern before we start the repeat on row 24. Whoops. And now we start the first repeat, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it wasn't right. It wasn't. It's 7 single crochets here in a row. You see, I already did 3, and then we did 4 more, and then there's 1 double crochet here in the middle, and again 7 single crochets. 7, 1 double, and then we do 3 here, added with the 4 that we started the repeat with, and that's 7. Yeah, so that's 1 repeat in row 24. I'm gonna go do my second repeat. Sorry for the shadow, you guys. It's obviously nighttime by now. I prefer doing the videos during the day. Obviously, it's better lighting, but believe it or not, I'm a bit late. This whole thing, so I'm doing it at night. I hope that it's, I mean, you can see it all very clearly, but we have the shadow there. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Here I'm finishing my second repeat. 1, whoops. 1, 2, 3 single crochets, and that's 2 repeats done then. And I'm going to do the last part of the pattern of row 24 after the repeat. And after the repeat we do 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets, 1 double here, and then we do 2 single crochets, 1 double down, and finish it with 5 single crochets at the end of the row, and then our border stitch at the end of the row. Cut the yarn, and pull your yarn through. There we go. So that was row 24. I hope that by now you see that it's so easy. I mean, it really leads you on. It's such a simple grid to go by, right? On to row 25. Odd number means main color. And as always, we do our border stitch at the beginning of the row. And now we're going to do 5 double crochet to cover up the 5 single crochets that we did at the beginning of the last row. No, actually not. We're going to do 4. Sorry. Because now we're here in the middle, and now we're going to take this one out again. Yeah? So it's 4 double crochets. Then you do 2 singles, 1 double, and this double goes into the double from row 23, you see? And now we do 3 single crochets, and then 5 double crochets here, but we're only going to do 2, and then the later 3 are part of the first repeat. So this is the beginning of row 25, border stitch, 4 double crochets, 2 singles, 1 double, 3 singles, and 2 doubles. And now we start the repeat for row 25. And we do 3 double crochets, total of 5 double crochets here in a row. And then we do 3 singles and 5 doubles. Easy peasy. Yeah. And again, 3 single crochets. And now we finish the repeat, the first repeat, doing 2 double crochets. So that's the repeat for row 25. And now I'm going to do my second repeat. You're probably doing either 9 or 14 or even more. It's always the same. 3 singles, walk into a bar. I'm trying to hold that back, but and then 5 doubles, so it's 3 singles, 5 doubles all the way through. We can go to the bar later. Okay, and I'm finishing my second repeat here. That's 2 repeats done for row 25. And now to the part after the repeat, and we do 3 double crochets. One and 2 and 3 singles. 1 double. 2 singles and 4 doubles. 2, 3 and 4. And then there's the single. The border stitch at the end of the 2 border stitches worked into a bar. No, okay, it's getting late here. Okay, and pull through, and that's it for row 25. On to row 26. That's even numbers, so we're doing pattern color, border stitch at the beginning of the row, and now we're going to do 4 single crochets, 1 double, 2 singles, double, one single, one double, and 2 singles here, and that's the first part of row 25 before we start the repeat. Yeah. Now we go on to the first repeat, and we're going to do 3 single crochets here. That's a total of 5 in a row then. And then there's a double, single, double situation, like so. And then 5 single crochets here over all the 5 double crochets from last row. And then it's double, single, double again. And we finish the repeat with 2 single crochets here. That's one repeat done for row 26. I'm going to go and continue and do my second repeat. Exactly the same. Nice and easy. And we finish the repeat, the second repeat as well with 2 stitches. So that's 2 repeats done there. And now to the pattern after the repeat. All the repeats, 1, 2, 3 single crochets, total of 5 there in a row. And then we do the double, single, double. Two singles, 1 double, and 4 single crochets here. Border stitch, cut the yarn, and pull through. Okay, that was row 26. Isn't this easy and fun, you guys? I mean, it really is. There's nothing else you can say about it. It is ridiculously easy. And now I hope that you've gotten into sort of the rhythm of the pattern, yeah? Because it's always the same things happening over and over again, especially in the simple version that we're doing here. On to row 27. That's odd numbers, so we're using the main color. And we start with the border stitch. And now we do 1, 2, 3 double crochets at the beginning of the row, 27. And then we do 2 singles, 1 double, 2 singles, 1 double here in between the 2 doubles from last row, 2 singles, and 1 double. And that's the first part of row 27 before starting the repeat. And now we go on to the repeat. And then we do 2 double crochets. Let's say a total of 3 in a row there then. Yeah. And 2 singles, 1 double here in between. 2 singles, 3 double. And then we do 2 singles, 1 double down, 2 singles, up, and 1 double. So that's 1 repeat of row 27. I'm going to do my second repeat. Exactly the same, obviously. Well, if it weren't, then it wouldn't be a repeat, would? And on we go. Happily hooking along. I hope. Maybe you're just sitting at home, like, panicking. Okay, that wasn't nice of me. No, I mean, I'm sure it's going great. How couldn't it? It's nice and easy, yeah? If you do need any help, please do check out the group though over on Facebook. My admin team is the greatest. And I say my admin team, not me, because I'm not nearly as patient and nice about answering all the questions. They are amazing. They have the patience of a saint. They're always answering the same questions over and over again. So if you need any help or if you're stuck, if anything is not clear, please do check that out. The Facebook group, Tina's Crochet Club, where we're hosting the cow. And I promise I won't laugh at you. Okay, so that's 2 repeats done for row 27. And now we go on to the part of the pattern after the repeat, and that's 2 double crochets here. So 3 total. 2 single crochets, 1 double, 2 singles, 1 double, 2 singles, and 3 double crochet at the end, always mirroring what we do at the beginning. Yeah. And 1, the border stitch here at the end, as always. Yep. And pull through. Are you pulling through? Okay, row 27, all done. On to row 28. That's an even number, so we're using the pattern color. Border stitch, 1, 2, and 3 single crochets, 1 double down, 2 singles, 1 double, and 3 singles, 1 double, and 1 single. And now we're done with the first part of the pattern for row 28 before we start the first repeat. And on to the repeat. We do 2 more single crochets here. That's a total of 3 in a row then. And then there's 1 double crochet, 3 single crochets, 1 double crochet, 3 single crochets, 1 double, 3 singles. You see where I'm going with this? Yeah, it's always the same repeat here. 1 double, 3 singles. Okay, 1 double here, and then we finish the repeat with 1 single. Okay, that was the repeat for row 28. I'm going to do my second repeat. This will be a lovely table runner, I think. Be nice for my window, actually. It'll be one of very few pieces that I've made that is only 2 colors. Obviously for a tutorial it's nicer just to have it, keep it clean and simple with 2 colors, and it's beautiful as well, obviously. But that's not quite my style, is it? Okay, that's the second repeat done for row 28. And now to the final part of the row. After the repeat we do 2 single crochets, so total of 3 here in a row as always. 1 double, 3 singles. Should start singing this. 1 double. No, I shouldn't. I'm not a good singer at all. I'll have to have Sue sing it for me. Stay on point. 1 double, 2 singles, 1 double, 3 singles here at the end of the row, finishing off with the border stitch as always. Cut the yarn and pull through. It's so important to pull through in life, you know. Row 28, all done. That's just 2 more rows I'm going to show you actually now. On to row 29. No, yeah, that's 29 is main color, so that's turquoise. Okay. Border stitch at the beginning of the row. 2 double crochets. 2 singles, 1 double, 2 singles, 3 doubles, 1 and 2 and 3. Whoop, it splits. And then 2 singles. So this is the part of the pattern before we start the repeat on row 29. Border stitch, 2 doubles, 2 singles, double, 2 singles, 3 doubles, and 2 singles. And now we start the repeat for row 29. And then it's 1 double crochet here because we're finishing off this diamond, yeah. Oop. 2 singles and 3 doubles. Two singles, 1 double, 2 singles and 3 double, and then 2 singles. There. So that's the repeat for row 29. And I'm going to continue and do my second repeat exactly the same, and you do the same as many times as you need for your blanket or your project, whatever it may be. I'm so excited to see all your queens. Okay, finishing off here with, well, actually, no, yeah, that was 1 too much, just to keep the repeat clean. That was the second repeat then for row 29, and now we do the part of the pattern which is after the repeats, and then we do 1 double crochet, 2 singles, 3 double, 2 singles, 1 double, 2 singles, and 2 double here at the end of the row. Okay. And pull through. There you go. So that's row 28, all done. On to row 30, sorry. And this is the last row that I'm going to show you in this tutorial, because then the rest of chart 1 is a repeat of what we've already done. But I'll show you that in a bit after we finish this row, yeah? So, row 30. That's an even number, so we're doing pattern color. Start with a border stitch, do 2 single crochets, 1 double, 2 single, 1 double, Oops, split there. And then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, oops, 5 single crochets and 1 double here. And now we're up to the repeat. So this is the first part of row 30 before we start our repeat. And now to the repeat. That's 1 single crochet, 1 double, 5 singles, and then there's a double, single, double situation. We're doing double crochet here on each side of this double from last row and a single crochet on the top of this one. Yeah, that's double, single, double, and again 5 single crochets, 5 and 1 double here. Yeah, so that's the repeat for row 30. And I'm going to continue and do the rest of my second repeat. Just doing 2 repeats here for this table runner experiment. Okay, 1 double here to finish the second repeat. That's 2 repeats for row 30. And then we finish it after the repeat of the pattern, and we do 1 single crochet, 1 double, 5 singles, one double, 2 singles, 1 double, and 2 singles, and the border stitch, and pull through. There we go. So there you go. This is then up to row 30. It's growing. And so this is all I'm going to show you here. I think I've shown you more than enough. This is a very thorough tutorial. You cannot say anything else than that. So this here is up to row 30, and I'm just going to show you quickly here on the chart that we've come up to here, yeah. But then this part here is the repeat. Rows 15 to 30 are the repeats, and so these here are repeated once more here in 31 to 46, and then row 47 is like 31 again. Yeah, and so for the small version, then you're just working the chart exactly. So you just continue up here and do 1 more repeat of 15 to 30, 1 actually. Yeah. But if you are doing the largest sizes, then, well, this is all in the pattern. I don't have the numbers in my head, but then you do some extra repeats of this part here to make it longer, obviously. Yeah. So this is part 1, you guys. I hope you're having fun with this and that everything is clear as day. If you're having any problem at all, then please check out my Facebook group, Tina's Crochet Club, where my absolutely fantastic admin team is there ready to help, and well, me obviously as well, but I'm useless compared to them. They're really super women, can't thank them enough. So any questions that you have, please direct them to the Facebook group. Yeah, okay, so there we go. That's it for today. Okay, so I did another repeat like I showed you. Worked again rows 15 to 30. You see up here, and then once again row 15 here for row 47, exactly the same. So if you want to follow along with the video, then you just go back to row 15 again after finishing row 30. And I just want to show you here, you see there's a little bit of slant here. Don't worry about that if it's happening, and also it will sometimes double a bit like this. This is all normal. This is just because you're always working from the same side, and this will all be fixed in blocking. So there you go. This is part 1, you guys. I hope you'll have fun with this. Looking forward to seeing your queens. Ciao!